But the reality is it's going to come for you next, because we cannot sustain our population growth. We cannot sustain it in London. Therefore, we have to build them everywhere else.
Fear-mongering, Alex. Come on.
It's not, but it's true. I've seen it happen in my own town.
What happened in your town?
Well, crime is up, immigration's too high, there's not enough housing being built, the hospitals are overflowing, the schools are overflowing, there are cabins that were temporary when I was at school there.
It's all good otherwise. It's poverty that drives crime, not immigration.
But lack of resources drives poverty.
A Labour activist found herself completely overwhelmed as the entire panel turned against her in a fiery live TV clash over migrant housing. The topic: immigration, overcrowding, and the crumbling state of Britain's housing infrastructure. What started as a debate quickly became a demolition, and now it's sparking outrage across the country that it happened during a high-stakes panel discussion.
I'll start with you on this. So, homes by foreigners for foreigners in Labour's Britain, essentially.
Yeah, well, is anyone surprised? You know, I don't think anyone is, really. I think we all knew this was coming. They got rid of one of Angela Rayner's first acts was to scrap one of Rishi Sunak's key policies, which was going to be British homes for British people first, which is how it should be. If you're a British citizen of this country, you should get priority housing. I don't think that's controversial. I don't think that's left or right wing. That is just the way it should be in Britain. Unfortunately, now we're going to find more of our tax money going to these new programs, when actually, you know, quite frankly, we know that where they're going to go is to foreigners who don't.
Discussion aired nationwide. The subject: the UK's spiraling housing crisis, and how rising immigration numbers are impacting local communities. The Labour activist, introduced as a community organizer and advocate for migrant rights, argued passionately in favour of expanded housing programs and sanctuary policies, that we have a duty to welcome those in need. This country was built on compassion, but that's when things took a sharp turn. A Conservative commentator fired back, pointing out the strain on schools, hospitals, and public services. Compassion doesn't mean chaos. We cannot house the world if we can't even house our own. The tension exploded when the activist dismissed concerns about overcrowding as dog whistles. That triggered a chorus of objections, not just from opposing panelists, but even from a moderate commentator who had stayed quiet until that moment. That it's not racist to talk about capacity. It's realistic. Moments later, the host stepped in, but the debate had already spiraled. At one point, the activist could barely get a word in as every other panelist piled on, bringing up local crime spikes, school waiting lists, and housing shortages. This wasn't just TV drama. People watching at home felt the weight of it. One guest described their hometown being transformed overnight, citing rising crime and unlivable conditions as a direct result of unchecked migration. That it's not about where people come from, it's about how many. We're at a breaking point, and when the activist attempted to redirect the blame toward austerity policies, she was again challenged. You can't ignore the numbers. We've added millions, but the homes haven't followed. This brutal panel debate wasn't just a PR disaster for one activist. It's part of a growing identity crisis inside Labour. With working-class voters voicing frustration, and party elites pushing progressive immigration policies, cracks are beginning to show. Some inside the party worry that Labour is losing touch with the everyday concerns of British families, especially on issues like housing, migration, and community safety. The internet erupted. Clips of the debate went viral within hours. Supporters of the panel's takedown called it a long overdue reality check. Others accused the panel of ganging up and silencing pro-immigration voices. Meanwhile, some viewers are asking, if the left can't have this conversation honestly, how can it offer real solutions? This debate is far from over. With the general election looming, and housing near the top of voter concerns, every party will be forced to face these hard questions head-on. Will Labour shift its stance, or double down, and more importantly, can we find a solution that balances compassion with capacity, before public trust in the system collapses completely? What do you think? Was the Labour activist unfairly attacked, or was this a necessary wake-up call? Should Britain limit migration to protect housing and services, or are we losing our sense of humanity? And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a twist in Britain's biggest political battles. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay in the debate.
Hey guys, welcome back my YouTube channel Europe Inside. Like this video and subscribe my channel for latest political updates, parliament debates, Nigel Farage and Keir Starmer latest debates, parliament debate. Thanks for watching guys.